did you do with the feelings that said, not just how could you, but how dare you treat my mother like this, or our family like it, or the ministry like this?
Yeah.
Did you?
We spent a lot of time talking as a family, and what I mean by that is I talked with my mom every single day.
Did you really?
Every single day. Had quite a phone plan to pull that off, but every day.
Because you're in Dallas.
Because I'm in Dallas, she's up in Canada, and then talked to my brother a lot, my sister.
Is he still working in the company?
He was on and off, and as sort of the wheels are coming off the wagon, eventually he's back in school in Canada as well. So, but he's in the same city, so he's very much involved and so on. And part of the challenge was after it seemed that there was not going to be any type of reconciliation between my mom and dad, that there was this adamant, she's going to get nothing and I'm going to hurt her. And so that creates a very, within the family, there's this combativeness now of, both my brother and my sister and myself all wanted to help my mom. I mean, she was not the one who was involved in the adultery, and so that became very challenging with the success of the business and me having an ownership in the business and so on, to try and work these things out. Furthermore, I'm a full-time student, and I know you've been to seminary. It doesn't leave a lot of time on the side for other challenges and so on. And I had some distance, obviously, and so all of those things, and they all took time. Like this wasn't one semester we had to go through this, or over the course of a year.
During the time, are you coming to terms with what is it God would have me do? How am I supposed to be responding to this? How can I best be a supportive son to my mother, and maybe, I don't know, a confrontive son to my father? Was that ever a part of this?
Yeah, although there was legal action to try and secure some finances for my mom, and that complicated things, and was awful to go through when that involves family, and honestly, I'm sure awful for everyone involved. But that made things hard, and there'd been some. Lots of challenging conversations that had been had long before, and so on, and trying to find, it's hard to know. Again, you have no sense of time. You have no sense of how long will this take, and what's the outcome. My mom developed health issues, and so the health issues really fueled getting help, health related to being under such intense pressure, and heart related, and heart is always serious. You don't need to deal with that, and so I should say you immediately need to deal with that, and so those things became dominant. I would go back and say this. I have spent much of my life, I came to know and love the Lord very young because of my parents. My mom was a profound influence in my life. I have had a great plan for my life that I've wanted the Lord to follow. I've written it out.
That's good.
I've got a lot of things that if the Lord would kind of just follow my checklist, this would. None of these things were on my checklist, and so. Wow. When you ask the question, I kind of answer it this way. I didn't need my lists anymore. You come to know and love the Savior in a way that he's good enough for today. I can't tell you about tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow holds. But I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know, to be perfectly honest, I never wanted to graduate. I just wanted to stay and just keep pumping in the hours. I loved it. I wanted to just keep learning. Don't make me go make a decision now, because I'm scared. I'm scared if am I going to pastor? Am I going to serve on the mission field? I've done a lot of travel.
If I pastor, will I drift?
But right. And now I'm single. So does that make me better or does that make me worse? Not married and now in my mid-30s. And so a lot of the Lord does amazing things in spite of all sorts of circumstances that you might wish weren't true. And I think that's probably what Joseph would have said, that hey, I didn't like the jail thing. I didn't like being accused. It wasn't that much fun to be put in the pit, nor was it fun to be sold into slavery. But I think he came to trust the Lord. Probably not big picture. He probably did think, probably one day I'll be prime minister. I mean, I doubt, he thought that.
Probably never.
One day my brothers will come and they'll ask me for food and there I'll be. He never imagined that. And so I think when you go through hard times, you just come to, the Lord has gotten us this far and we'll just keep trusting him. And so I had less plans, well, this is what's next. And, I'm organized. Yeah. And so I want the Lord to be organized ahead of me. We're going to do this, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this. And it wasn't like that anymore.
You had the outline. You want him to fill it in. But he didn't fill it in. You remind me of Joseph when it all landed and he realized in front of his brothers what he had on his hands. And he said, you meant it to me for evil.
Yeah.
Which to me is the great verse in Joseph's life. But God meant it to me for good.
Yeah.
Which to me is the ultimate, not in denial. You meant evil.
Yeah.
You thought the worst of me. You despised me and mistreated me.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, God was at work. Mm-hmm. And he meant it all for good. Yeah. By being brought low, I was able to handle now these days that I've been brought high or lifted up.
Yeah.
And I think it allowed Joseph to handle the promotion and the luxury, if you will, of that position and the power without it ever turning his head.
Yeah, I think that's
right. In fact, he turns over to his brothers, Goshen, the best of the land in Egypt, and told them, I want you to bring my daddy and Benjamin, bring them all, and come and live here.
Yeah, and you think it would have been easy for him to say, Dad and Benjamin, that's it. You 10.
Yep. Stay.
Sure, he could have done that. And probably we would look and go, well, that's fair.
Sure.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
But it's not what he does. Yeah. And he keeps the family together and their family. These are the 10 older brothers,